Hello and welcome to Offsite Dirt with our partner Wesco. We have Kent Anderson with us today, and we're going to be talking with Arris. Kent, how are you?
I'm great, Audrey. Thank you so much it's always nice to be on the program. It's great to see you. Great to have these conversations with you. And today we've got a great friend on with us today. I want to introduce Andy Miller, who is VP and Head of Manufacturing for Arris Holdings Corp. And we're excited to have him on the conversation today.
Andy, how are you doing today? And thank you for being here.
Well, it's good to be here. I'm doing very well, and it's good to see both of you.
Yes, we'd love to know a little bit more about your background, and if you can just give us a little bit more about Arris as well.
I'm not going to tell you all of my background. It would take too long because I started in the industry in 1974, so I've been around for quite a long time. But I've been in the modular business probably the last 30 years of my career. I have been president and CEO of Nationwide Homes in Martinsville, Virginia for about 12 years at one time. I was a general manager for R&L Homes in North Carolina for a long time previous to that. And in 2019, I left Nationwide to become the head of manufacturing for Arris Holdings. Arris started as a new company startup in January of 2019. We went out, found a plant. We took it down to bare bone and rejigged it and got it ready to build modular boxes. Arris is we are a multifamily modular builder. And when I say that, we're vertically integrated. Arris doesn't market its products to the outside market currently. So what we do, we're the developer, we are the manufacturer, we're the general construction firm, and we build and hold all of our apartment projects in-house currently.
Wow, that's tremendous. And he does have an extensive background, Audrey. I'm pretty sure he might play a character on Yellowstone at times too, because he has that look about him. He's got that kind of cowboy look going on, I think. But Andy, as you think about all the different companies that you've worked with over time, and then coming to Arris, and this is the first time you've been with a company that was vertically integrated in that deep a manner. Is that right?
That's correct.
So
go ahead, Ken.
What do you think really drove Arris towards considering and making use of modular construction as part of their program?
Well, Arris Holdings is owned by basically a commercial developer out of Atlanta. Him and his investors that started Arris wanted to build multifamily projects, but they wanted to do it much faster, much quicker than you typically can do with site-built construction. So I met the ownership, I guess in 2017, and we started a conversation. He came to Nationwide, and I showed him a few projects we had done, and our conversation turned from wanting to buy some product to wanting to do his own plant. And that's how our relationship started. And we talked a few years, and then finally in 2019, we bought a plant and started out on this adventure.
It's amazing.
Andy, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kent.
No, I was just going to say it is an amazing plant, an amazing facility, and obviously you guys have turned out a lot of projects already since your beginnings in 2019.
We have built quite a bit of product, and Wesco has been part of our growth from day one. So I'm sure you've seen those orders grow over the years to pretty pretty good size orders, but we have projects all over the Southeast. We have our first project was in Wilmington, North Carolina. We went to Destin, Florida from there. And we have several projects around Atlanta, one in Gwinnett County in Beaufort, Georgia. We have another project in Kennesaw, Georgia, and another project in Canton, Georgia. And then we have another one up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is just south of Nashville. All really good locations, and they're going very well. Wilmington is complete. Destin is complete. Kennesaw is getting close to that, and we're on a pace of about 800 apartment units a year, all in modular construction.
Wow, that's significant. That's a great amount of volume to come out of a facility. And I have to tell you, Andy, the trending of what your company is doing is what we are seeing in the industry, where the developer and the manufacturer work together to develop their own product. So it makes it extraordinary to see the expansion of your company. And I can only imagine, by being able to produce that output, the amount of business that is going to be building for you. And I love that you're able to control it in your environment. You're vertically integrating it. So you're securing it, you're developing it, you're designing and building it. All those are great assets. So let me ask you this. How has your strategic partnership with Wesco built your business from the very beginning?
Well, the great thing about Wesco is when you think Wesco, you think electrical, but they're much more than that. So a strategic partnership with Wesco as one of our major suppliers has allowed us to buy various different things. We're buying electrical, we're buying plumbing and other types of products from them. So the ability to do that allows us to keep our number of suppliers down. And it also allows us to build a strategic partnership with them. We've all gone through the supply issues over the last few years. Finally, it's starting to ease up, which is nice. But during that whole period, Wesco was instrumental in supplying us with product and keeping our production line flowing. So during that whole period, we had very few times that we were out of materials.
That's amazing. And we appreciate your partnership so much. We have really, as you say, we've kind of grown with you as you got started there, and just the whole concept of what we do bring to the market today is certainly expanded. I'm thinking too. I just have a question for you about when you think in terms of what you look at. It seems like you think of especially supply partnerships more of a production attitude rather than a project attitude. Would you mind talking a little bit about how that is affected for you guys?
Well, I could talk all day about production and production environments, but because I love it. But I think that when you look at any production facility, one of the most important things is when you lay the facility out and you do all of your standard operating processes, and you look at your materials, you look at your product. What we tried to do is keep our product standardized. As example, we only have 5 apartment designs that we use to make any building for any project. So it's as simple as you can get it. And I know that's tough for a lot of manufacturers in the industry to try to understand that, but I can tell you that it really does work. But that supply partnership allows that production line to run smoothly. If you're out of any material, it causes a bottleneck within the facility and it doesn't allow the product to flow through correctly. So the way we look at things at Arris is that your plant is only as fast. It can only be as fast as your slowest department. So if you've got a supplier, as an example, that cannot keep your production line stocked and allow it to run the way it should, It creates a lot of issues. You have product in the yard without finishes in them. And without that strategic partnership to keep that supply going smoothly, and not only the supply, but also quality product. If the product's not of a high quality, you're not producing a quality product coming out your production facility. So very important to create those strategic partnerships with all of your suppliers.
I so agree with you, and you are making total sense about being able to have 5 different unit types. I think the thing that we're seeing with a lot of factories is that they try to come in with more customized product, hence, making the supply of design and development so much slower. So when you're putting together your plan and you're coming through the assembly line and you've got a factory that you guys are building, how does that approach work with the supply chain? Is it the materials all come in at that same time, or is it a consistent flow as you know what productivity and what things are coming in? And how has Wesco assisted with that? Has it been more of an online type of interaction, or do you constantly have one of the reps coming to visit you? How is that interaction for the supply chain working?
Well, I'll lead you up to the answer to that. But what we found out early on is that we needed to control the design and the architectural design of the product. So we tried some outside architects, but it's hard to get them on the same page. So we ended up hiring our own architect. We have an architectural division. We have our own staff PEs for structural. The only thing we really farm out is MEP type assistance. So we do have consultants for those, but even our civil engineering, we do all of that in-house, and that has allowed us to take those, or to basically standardize our designs and get the product to look exactly the way we want to. I mean, our architect would tell you she can take those 5 designs and make that building look any way you want it to look. The designs of the apartments themselves are what the tenants want. We have proven those now. They like those designs. They're happy with those designs. You don't have to have a new apartment design for every project that you build. So that has that's made it easy for us when I talk about standardized product. It makes it easy for us to not only work with a supplier to provide us the materials on a continual basis. We don't buy everything for a project at once. We basically, with Wesco, we work on a weekly basis. The Wesco rep comes into the plant. He does a fabulous job. He works with not only production but also our purchasing department. They have great relationships. They work together to make sure that the product meets our needs, and the product is of a quality nature, and that it's actually working in the facility the way it should. You can deal with a lot of suppliers that can provide product, but one that will actually work with you and bring new ideas to you to continually improve your product is what you look for. And that's what we get with Wesco. They do a really good job with that.
And Andy, thanks for the compliment there. I will make sure Matt watches this so he'll know he got a thumbs up from you. So when in thinking about some of those things, and part of what you were talking about there, the planning is really becomes a very big piece of what you're doing, because obviously your projects are, they're permitted out pretty long distance as far as timeline goes, that kind of thing. But then being prepared to go build those, how do you find working with your strategic partners when you're talking in terms of long-term needs? And does offsite construction give you a better ability to do that than, say, more conventional type construction?
Without a doubt. I mean, you can. Arris is unique in another segment as well. We really don't build by project, and this is going to sound very weird to you, because everybody else in the industry, they either sell a project or they decide to build a project and they design it, and it goes through a process of assembly building for bills of materials and lots of talks with suppliers to put the product and the materials they need to build it together. But we're different. We're very different. I don't build by project. I will, as an example, I will wrap the plan up and we'll build our 1D unit, which is a 1-bedroom unit. I might build that for 6 weeks. I don't know where those boxes are going. They're a universally designed box. I think we're the only manufacturer that has that approval with our third parties, and with the states in the Southeast, they allow us to build product and we put it in inventory. We build that inventory, and then when we sell a project and we get our permits on site to move forward and we put slabs in the ground, we'll pull from that inventory and then we'll label it for the state that it needs to go into, and we'll ship it. And when our inventory gets low, we'll build more 1Ds or 2Ds or whatever that product might be. But by doing that, it allows us to provide our suppliers with the information that they need to make sure they've got stock on the shelf and available for us at all times. We know, as an example, what we're going to build on into February of next year. I know what projects are on the board for the next 3 to 5 years. They might come in a different order, but by building that universal box, it allows us to pull from inventory, and it gives us a great deal of flexibility to run the plant, and that keeps the plant very efficient.
It's amazing, Audrey. This is construction as a product, right? I mean, that's where this is going. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I am profoundly impressed, and it makes me excited because this is what offsite or modular construction is supposed to be. Arris actually does it, and I love this. A company driven by vision and powered by technology. Arris is determined to deliver residential communities with speed, quality, and cost effectiveness, simply unprecedented within the industry. And I have to agree with that, Andy. Congratulations on this great success. And I cannot wait to see more of these buildings going up. And congratulations to Wesco to really streamline the supply chain and see execution in a level that has been so superior with a company that is producing 800 units. That's phenomenal.
Well, it's been, I won't tell you it's been easy.
I don't think it has been.
It's been very difficult, but I can tell you that our owner has a great vision for the industry, even though he didn't come from it, and he has challenged me to forget everything I knew coming in, other than how to put a plant together. He gave me full reign with that, but we have basically thrown the way the industry operates out the window and created his vision, and have and continue to build the company. Our goal next year is 1,000 units, so we're not going to stay at 800 very long. But we have some pretty ambitious plans to continue to grow the company and scale the modular industry. That's one of his big initiatives. He wants to scale the industry, and it's not been done. So hopefully Arris will be the first one to do it.
I agree. I agree. Don't you, Kent? And in closing, Kent, how has the partnership in Wesco and Arris, how has it been flourishing?
Well, it's been tremendous. And obviously, with Arris's vision and Arris' plan, and then coming alongside them and being able to really work with them on a regular basis, like Andy pointed out, our local rep, Matt, being in the plant, and then his managers and our leadership being involved with helping to make sure that we have the inventory. But then, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that we have some tremendous vendors that we work with that help us pull all those programs together, the different types of categories of products that we bring to Arris, and the fact that we've got great partners with people like Siemens and Southwire, and even Viega on the plumbing side, and just lots of great partnerships out there. So it's been an amazing opportunity to work with them. We know that the future is very bright for them, and we're just looking forward to seeing what they will do with it. It's going to be cool.
It is cool. And thank you, Andy, for taking the time and explaining to us about Arris and your future and the connection with Wesco. We are certainly very enthusiastic about your success, and I do believe that you guys will hit 1,000 boxes in no time. I think you're on your way.
It's more than 1,000 boxes, Audrey. That's 1,000 living units.
1,000 living units. What was I
1,000
thinking?
living
That's
units.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we want. 1,000 units. Here we go. It's coming up.
With a developer as an owner, he doesn't understand anything but square footage. So I can tell you that we do everything based on a square foot basis. And I will say one other thing about Wesco. We've been able to work with them not only for the plant supplies, but also now for the construction, the general construction that we're doing in the field. We're starting to buy switch gear, which Kent, you need to work on Siemens on that. We need a lot better than the
absolutely.
And of course, a lot of SCR cable now. I think we just gave you a big order for that. So we have extended our production line into the field, and we kind of look at the site side of it just like we do the plant. So we're starting to leverage Wesco to help us supply those materials as well. And so far it's going very well.
Thank you. We appreciate that very much.
And there we go. Offsite Dirt, connecting Arris and Wesco, celebrating the relationship not only in the factory, but also on site, being able to do both. And it is such a pleasure, Andy. Thank you again for being here. Thank you, Kent, for being here. And we appreciate our audience knowing this great partnership and the solutions that you can find in Wesco, and obviously articulating that through a customer like Arris and the superior build systems that they have created is just one more reason why we should consider not only doing offsite solutions, but also selecting our partners with the utmost understanding of what they can do for your company. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.